I seriously want to know when women become actual fucking adults who can make decisions. This lady just said people are defending her body and that's fine, but he's 48 and she's 27. Some of us have other issues with his type, and let's never forget he's a cop. I don't know why she mentioned he was a cop. Kind of irrelevant because he's, a rapper now. But you still have people also in the comment section. Listen, she says a 50-year-old man who never dates a girl man his age is weird to me. Why? She's literally she's not 12. She's not close to adolescence. She's 27. 27. This guy says 27 ain't young, and why would he want to spend time with an older woman who probably has kids and can't come when he calls, or older women who's already jaded from her past? But she's again 27, so there's some past there. Old niggas with money want to have fun. Older women probably aren't that fun. Here's what my issue is. One of my issues. When I watch these dating shows and like Kendra G and whatnot, people never ever have a problem when a chick be like 60. Like, I go with how they don't care how young they gotta go because they want his dick to work. That how somehow is less weird or predatory than an entire relationship. Him wanting her because she looks good generally is a worse idea to comprehend than a woman literally saying, no, I want this age group for their dicks. Seriously, how? He's a creepy middle-aged man who has obsessed with much younger women. 2 decades age gap is genuinely sick. Listen, I'm not going to go Google her, but y'all listen, y'all see it there. She doesn't even look like, what the fuck? If she went to high school, they'd be like, oh, you're here to pick up someone immediately. She can't even pass for high school. A woman says she's almost 30, literally turning a molehill into a mountain over a very, very grown woman. Yeah. And she responds with, if you like men who prey on younger women because women their age would never settle for their vile BS, that's on you, sis. I hope it works out for you and that you evade abuse. It's funny because I don't think she understands what she's doing here. She's saying that women, even at the age of 27, don't really know shit or susceptible, if that's the right word, I'm not even sure if I said it right, to, getting gamed by older men to take whatever BS. Meanwhile, talking at someone in that very age group. Ma'am, doesn't she just not know? Why don't you take it easy on her? Because she just doesn't know, right? But you get to treat the same age group as if they know better when you're talking to them and they disagree with you, but yet when they're in a situation you want to speak against, they just don't know better. Holy shit. Does she know better or not? She can't only know better when she disagrees with you. And then I hope you evade abuse. You know that's sarcasm. Well, at least I assume it's sarcasm. That's what it sounds like. So you're even willing to go to that far. That's crazy. That's crazy. Every single time positions like this you can tell that it's basically, I don't really care what's right. I just want to be the in charge of the validation of everything. I want to be able to point the finger and say what should be allowed and what shouldn't. Because there's no way you can justify the way you're talking to her while also saying women her age just don't know any better. Ain't nothing wrong with her body. I don't. What are they saying about her body? That she's like skinny? Like she's skinny. I don't understand what the whole her body thing is. What are they? I don't really care. Let's move on. I think more concerning part of this is the age. No shit. That's why you're here, right? I wonder what they actually have in common with each other. I don't know. These types of age gaps always seem predatory to me, but people can do what they want. And I get tired of y'all trying to do this whole commonality thing. Stop. Because if a broke ass chick got engaged to, married to, whatever, a rich guy, none of you would go, well, what do they have in common? None of you would say that. I've never heard that. Only the eight. Actually, that's what this situation is. Maybe, I don't know. She's probably Instagram model. I don't know. None of us knows what she do, so let's just assume she's broke. Nobody's going out saying what do they have in common outside of age. It's quite literally all based on, well, their age gap means they definitely have something different. Bro, I play ball. There are dudes in their teens in there. There are dudes who are old as fuck in there. And we don't all just like when we're like either before we start hooping, after or in between games or on the sideline, we don't go, that guy's too old, can't talk to him. He's a teenager, can't talk to because that age gap, nothing in common. Shut up, y'all full of shit. Like as if you can't, because you don't have anything in common in your day-to-day life. Therefore, when they get home and talk to each other, you just can't talk. Like when you have a conversation in marriage, it's literally about the only things you have in common. So all of those of you who desire a provider, well, he will be opposite of you, right? Because you're not a provider. The fuck do I got in common then? If you work in this field and he works in that field, into that, like on the totally different ends of the spectrum, what do you have in common? Stop using this. What do you talk about? It's stupid. This is fucking stupid. You spend how many hours sleep, how many hours apart from each other because of work, to bring up the question, what do you talk about? Seriously? Stop it. She's an adult, 27, not a child, leave him alone. I think that's a woman, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever. She looks naturally petite, and I am upset. I am upset and will be blocking your apparent mean girl and spirited self from my timeline. She has a child and bounced back this thin. It's her natural body, y'all weird. Who are you talking to? I don't think she said... Okay, moving on. Her prefrontal cortex been developed. And this is a woman, Ashley. This is a woman saying this. Yes, the dynamic is weird, but she is damn near 30 and making grown woman decisions. If she was a few years younger, I'd call it predatory. Rick Ross is a big-ass creep, but a 27-year-old knows enough to peep power dynamics and still choose to mess with the imbalance. Experience is the best teacher. And she replies, I teach 28-year-olds who can't read. Miss me if they're 28 and can't read, something happened that is not normal. But you can't compare that to someone who's 28 and can read. Has a whole baby, apparently, that somebody said. Stop it. Come on. Because they can be, it is normal. We consider it normal in America for a 28-year-old to not be able to read. Dude, seriously. If you're 9 and can't read, we think it's a problem. So why the fuck would it be a comparative right now? That's a horrible example. Now, when she talk about if she was 24, it would be weird. No, it wouldn't. People, I know we try damnness to make people dumb for as long as possible, the way we bring them up through life. But when you're 24, you're an adult. You are grown. You're a critical thinker. Okay? If you are not considered to have a frontal cortex lobes, that's a problem with you. Stop doing this shit. Stop it. Again, I really need y'all to decide and let us know. When are women grown ass adults? When do they escape the I'm stupid as fuck stage? When? Because y'all can't use it at 27. You're 27. He's a year younger than me, and she's a year younger than my daughter. Fuck no. Okay, you wouldn't date your daughter. It's again, this is amazing. This is how you like. I'm pretty sure the same people like Feminista Jones. I'm pretty sure she has the same following and ideology herself as well. If you don't if you don't believe in abortion, just don't get one. Why is that logic not being applied here? Why have I not heard one person saying, yes, I understand we dislike this, but we should just refrain from being in these types of relationships since we don't believe it and leave everyone else alone? Why is that not used here? Well, blah. The older I get, the older the people I find attractive get. No interest in children. 27 is not a child. If 27 is a child, then all these dumbass young NBA players is getting babies with these old women. I don't want to hear anything about child support at all. Nothing, because they don't understand. They don't get it. They're just children, right? They're just kids. Why would you expect anything from a kid? They're a kid, which y'all do the other way around, right? If Rick Ross, hell, even his 27-year-old, but let's do where y'all typically do it. If a man in his 40s, 30, even 30s, gets with a 20-year-old and she does some goofy shit, some fucked up shit, some outright, just disgusting, out of pocket shit, people will go, oh, well, what did you expect? She's 20. But when these old, what's her name? Jada, the dude that had the baby by Jalen Green. None of them are ready to let him off child support because, hey, what did she expect? He's 20, right? Did you expect him to be a good dad? He's 20, right? Did you expect him to be there and follow through? He's 20. Does anybody lend that logic to him or anybody, any man in that position? Or is it all just one way? He's 21 years older than her. That ain't kosher. I don't know the meaning of kosher, but it's kind of irrelevant. Why do y'all keep bringing up y'all children? I don't understand just because something is relatable to your child, therefore you can use it to tell someone what they're doing isn't justifiable. Like, your child is also the same race as you. So when you become single after you have children, should you only look for people who are not their same race as your child? If your child likes to go to the track and race their car, should you never date a guy who has spent his life building a car to go race at the track? Like at what point do you just not compare to somebody to your child? This is stupid. Okay, Rick Ross, he's not a cop. He's a rapper. He used to be a PO, like 20 years ago. He used to be he dropped Teflon Don when I was, I believe, 18. I'm 33. Teflon Don was, I believe, his fourth album. He stopped being a cop decades ago. What is it? How is it relevant now? Because he's not. 27 isn't illegal. Not even close. Even by your oldest state is 18. It's almost a decade removed from that. What the fuck does him being a cop have to do with anything? Shit. But meanwhile, how many of y'all, if the dude could, sit you down and, pay all the bills and At your age in your 40s or wherever the fuck, how many of y'all will go up to 65? Hear it all the time on the Kendall G show. 65. I'll go up to 65. As long as he's in shape. Is that the problem here? That Rick Ross isn't in shape? Because if y'all say it, if he's 60 and it works and is in good shape, fuck it, I go. And y'all be in y'all 40s, early 40s. So is it not also creepy then? Power imbalance. Can she not leave? I know she ain't always on the boat in the water and can't go nowhere, is she? Is she literally trapped and can't go nowhere? My problem is, you don't clock it when women do it to men, like celebrities and basketball, football player fiancés. Be ultra quick when y'all see this. Trust me, I think it's weird by the least, but at least post every case and not mainly the men. Because some of y'all don't even notice when a woman do it. 42 minutes ago, no responses. Why is there a discussion about two consenting adults? Excuse me. I'm lost. He's 48, she's 27. What's the issue? You know, if she decided to get with a 27-year-old who was, regular, would y'all be okay with that? They got to go 50-50. Would y'all be okay with that? It's almost like y'all think people are going to have these perfect situations. Dude, let it go. Let it the fuck go, please. Y'all full of shit to just a ridiculous degree. Okay, I'm not really sure why people make cases like this either way, but we'll read it. She wouldn't have looked at him twice if he was some regular 48-year-old. Dude, she knows what she is doing. It's not like she is being taken advantage of. Dating Rick Ross will get her more clout and increase the number of her social media subscribers, plus open up the door to her in the entertainment industry. Okay, I wasn't aware of the second part, doing this live. Again, I still just don't understand the whole regular blah blah blah. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Because he's not a regular 48-year-old, and obviously she's just not some. Well, I don't know. She's in great shape. I don't know how she looks in the face because I didn't really look that hard. But obviously, at the very least, he's not a regular 48-year-old. So, what's the point? I am very surprised at this information. Okay, he's a rapper. Diddy owns a rap label. They often are at situations and whatnot. All right? You can't see a picture of someone with Diddy and just assume that stop doing that. You can't throw what Diddy is going through right now onto Rick Ross because you don't like his lifestyle. You can't do that. I don't think y'all realize how serious some of the shit is y'all try to do. Like it's just supposed to be a ha-ha type situation. People going to jail for assault has gone to a lot of people's head. Because Rick Ross should be able to backhand anybody trying to say by default, because this picture exists, he ought to be hit with the same, looked at the same way. I just full stop, I believe that should be the case. Because that's fucked up to try to put on somebody's name. Okay, that's all she was able to, but that's all I was able to see. Feminista Jones, 45. Could that be it, Feminista Jones? Could it be that, well, let's go see if maybe she has. Well, I was going to say maybe she has a man, but she says Alphabet Mafia. So that sounds like she's gay. And certified cat lady. So maybe she doesn't have anybody. I don't know. But if she's a lesbian, I move to discredit her 100%. Because as much as they try to link gay men and misogyny, it's actually the other way around. Like, think about it. Like, and I think I've said this before in another video, but they try to throw the you hate women and you're gay on the same men for the same actions, the same talking points, philosophy. So they try to tie the two together. Don't know why gay men at all aren't upset about that, but that's what a lot of women try to do. But how many dudes have you ran into that you either know are gay or you ran into randomly that are gay or whatever the fact, and it comes off that they just hate women. We instead say they hang around women a lot. They hang around some of the best looking women. Shit like that. But how many gay chicks, lesbians, dykes, butch, whatever, have either on social media or you've met in real life, are gay, obviously, but obviously have some sort of anger towards men? How many women have you even heard say, yes, this is my girlfriend now, I like pussy because men ain't shit? It actually seems like misandry is incredibly linked to lesbianism than misogyny is linked to gay men. It seems like that tenfold. Just go to her account. It's probably private. Oh, she does have a private. That's shocking. I'm a doctor who studies people of the African dysphoria. Okay. Is this her? Is this Feminista Jones? Oh shit! I got my other speaker hooked up. Y'all not gonna hear it. My bad. One of the main reasons Elon bought Twitter was to neutralize the organizing and the community building power of Black Twitter. Jack sold Twitter to him like a ship filled with human cargo, fully aware of the money value of Black Twitter. Let's not play any games here as we hop around their chessboard. You know what? Let me unhook my speaker so I can play audio through this real quick. Hold on. Okay, listen, Black people. When we have people who constantly, people like Godfrey, who constantly, every chance they get, try to say either Black is number one or invented everything, you start to pile up a lot of like, I don't want to call it ammunition, but things that people who aren't Black can, or people who are Black who just, as you would say, stand on the other side or whatever, can chop down or knock down and say, you're wrong, 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 you're wrong. Because this, like, things like this is an assumption. There hasn't been no study or anything that I've seen that says Black Twitter creates a lot of revenue, like a large amount of the revenue for Twitter. I have not seen that. It is not even in this tweet, ironically. So you're not giving any basis for why you believe this, but yet, so now it comes off as a, hey, we're Black and now we're amazing because I said so. And then that's it. So again, you're giving people, again, quote unquote, ammunition who actually don't like Black people, want to, blah, 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 blah. Like, you can't do this. Well, you can, but it's stupid. If you want to do this, wait until you have a lot of convincingly compiled shit that you can go run off of, other than simply saying, oh, we're Black, and then people are trying to use us because they hate us because we're so great. White people have the privilege of giving each other the benefit of the doubt. We could do that too. We could. You could say, hey, Rick Ross, I hope you actually are trying to marry her because she has a child already. She's 27. You know how y'all man's Kevin Samuels brought up the danger zone. I hope this actually is going somewhere. Please don't waste your time. We could do that. But you went the other way, right? You could have encouraged that she would now be in a union with someone with generational wealth. That thing we talk about non-fucking stop, all the while trying to say $25,000 down payment for houses that, again, will be debt to us to pay every month, which kind of removes the ability to you get the point, right? We could have given him the benefit of the doubt, but you didn't. So you actually have that privilege. You just turn it down so you can make goofy ass posts like this.
That clock that the Democrats were working around 24/7 towards a ceasefire. Did that clock break? Did that clock get caught up in the time change? Did that clock fall back? I'm just curious. Maybe somebody else with some knowledge, maybe somebody smarter than me has the answer. I'm just curious. Did the fighting for a ceasefire clock get caught up?
Okay, that did not work out like she thought. I'm not even sure what she was trying to get to there. Ceasefire on what? I don't know where she was going with that. I think she had an idea in her head and just didn't. It seems like I don't know if it's a joke or if it's serious based on a joke. I don't get it. It didn't land with me. Quote, the violence that we had in the 60s was limited. The next time it will be unlimited because the violence in the 60s was a struggle for human dignity and for human rights. The next struggle will be a struggle for survival, and it will not just be limited to black people or black against white, but it will be the poor people, the masses of the people of the country, struggling for the right to live or the right to survive, unquote. Robert F. Williams, revolutionary. What? Actually, it actually won't be, technically, because if you're saying that the poor people will fight against the rich people, well, poor people aren't defaultly fighting for arms. I hate to turn this to a gun conversation, but you kind of have to with this post here. You don't have enough poor people who are armed to fight against whoever the fuck, whether it's the government, rich people, kind of doesn't matter. Because the government, rich people can all just pretty much send people at you to hold you at bay or even kill you, and then that's it. So if this is an actual belief, then poor people should be planning ahead and taking all the arms possible. They should be voting to make all of it legal so they can fight back. If this is what you really believe. And then you have to assume that it got to the point where enough poor people just said, fuck it, I'm on the side of everybody else, regardless of party, race, gender, family, construction, whatever, and we're going to, fight. Also, you aren't going to see fighting as a bad thing. But easier said than done. I have asserted the right of the Negroes to meet violence meet the violence of the Ku Klux Klan by armed self-defense and have acted on it. It has been an accepted right of Americans, as the history of our Western states prove, that where the law is unable or unwilling to enforce order, the citizens can and must act in self-defense against lawless violence. Oh, so she is pro armed. Okay. I didn't see that coming. Usually feminists aren't. That's very I'll give her a like on that one. Nowhere in the annals of history does the record show a people delivered from bondage by patience alone. She's starting to cook a little bit. Starting to cook a little. We must meet violence with violence. Yo, she's okay. All right, now she doesn't have any on her page, which is a bummer, but okay.
And everything that you just said. And education is so important. So I'm listening to everything that everyone on the panel is saying, and I understand it because of my own, educational background. A lot of people won't know what you're talking about. And we have to make sure that when we talk about communication, we have to make sure that we're communicating and meeting people where they are. So I agree with you that we need the facts and the figures because that's where the proof is. But if people can't read charts, they won't understand what any of it means. So how do we get out there into the communities and translate that in a way that makes sense for people? And yes, we have to talk about racism. It is the foundation of all of this. It is why a poor white person will believe that they deserve food stamps and a poor black person is a moocher. This is part of racism. This is how Trump gets elected. I know they say you're not supposed to talk about racism and as it relates to Trump, but I absolutely have to. When you ask me why did all these white women vote for Trump? Because of racism. That's a big part of it. It's not necessarily about the economic insecurity because they were economically insecure and have been forever. The Appalachian folks, the Rust Belt folks, this poverty and this struggle is not new to them. This is not just an Obama thing. This has been in generations of their families ever since they were competing with slave labor. They know what this is. They want to put this blame and frame it in this way because they lack the education that teaches them about how this came to be and how them and their families ended up being in the situations that they are. They listen to the rhetoric, the Facebook memes, the fake news because they're susceptible to it because they lack the education and the knowledge that they need to combat it. And I think what we have to prioritize on both sides is education about this process and participating in America as a citizen. Because when you have progressives going and they're voting for Hillary and they're voting down ballot and they haven't heard the names of the people that are on that down ballot, that is just as bad as someone going and voting for Trump ignorantly. And we have to make sure that when we are sending people to vote, when we are sending people to sit on jury duties, jury duty, that's one of the scariest things is that we have people judging other people's lives and they don't know anything about the law. And they don't know anything. All they're doing is going with their gut. I think he's guilty. I think she's not guilty. We have to work on that. And we're not going to be able to communicate with each other until we start talking seriously about racism, sexism, xenophobia, transphobia, queerphobia, everything that fuels both sides. Okay, because it's about preservation of resources. So when progressives act like they're not that, they absolutely are. Racism in the Democratic Party is disgusting. And in my opinion, in many cases worse than what we see from the GOP because it's insidious and they hide it and they act like they're not racist. And so until we start talking about that and educating people in those ways, we're not going anywhere. And that's how Trump happened. And that's how this will continue to happen. Calling someone a white nationalist is redundant. The only people who have access to nationalism in this country are white people. So these are the kinds of educational conversations we need to have.
So I am going
to...
Okay, so there are parts where I did go, okay, she sounds like she's on, and then immediately it would be followed by, oh, what the fuck? You're right. People don't know how to read charts, know how to read stats, and understand any type of study. What I was going to say any type, but people struggle to understand that stuff because it can be formed in such a way that it sounds like it's saying one thing where it's literally. You're going to really be basing on a lot of biases. Stuff. It's difficult to explain. There's so many reasons why people get understanding charts and statistics. I just don't know how to break it down, honestly. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why I when people bring up numbers, I would like to ask the why, like who did the study, how they did the study, where, like so on and so forth. So like one that keeps coming up that I do this with is when they say, "Oh, the happiest people are the single and childless women," and it's like, well, did anybody ask anything other than what's their gender and are they childless? I'm pretty sure that the people who they asked were childless women who were between the ages of 18 and like 40. Well, yeah, because even if you don't have any money, as long as you're not ugly than a motherfucker, somebody is gonna foot that bill. You can go. You ain't even gotta live with a man. You can go live with your aunt. You gonna live with your favorite aunt, cause she on that time too. You go live. You know, if you got a big sister, go live with her. Do some shit. You like, obviously, but you gotta really understand what those stats mean and where they come from, right? One honorable mention when they say Christians have the best sex, and it's like, who the fuck did they ask that question? And how did they grade the sex? Like, how? Were they in the same room when y'all asked? Like, how did you even come to that conclusion? But whatever. And then she comes with the, first of all, when you look at the I guess caption or the banner there, it says anti-poverty policies in a Trump administrations. I guess that's a talking point. It confuses me a little bit when we get to talking about racism, but then you got to remember, you're talking about somebody who put feminista in her name. So it's kind of fitting, right? Look, again, I'm not saying racism. Here we go with this shit. Now, this is how redundant this conversation is. Obviously, there are racist people. Obviously, there are sexist people, and so on and so forth. But it's just, how do you set up a government program that fights racism? How do you set up government policies that fights racism? Because the best that I've seen that people come up with is, oh, we got to get the people who aren't white. Well, what do you think you're going to promote with that? The only people who are going to be like on your non-racist thing with that kind of program are people who just already breathing. That's it. Like, one of the problems that, like, I'm not sure if she said it or alluded to it, but one of the problems with people on her side that people regularly talk about is they kind of just see minorities, or in this case, black people, as just like this dumb class. Oh, we have to help them because, you know, they're black. They don't really have any, they don't understand. Like, they're so poor. Like, that's their mindset with black people. So it's like, it doesn't really promote anti-racism. It doesn't. It still promotes the same thing, just in a way that you like, I guess. What else? Some things she said.
Of it. It's not necessarily about the economic insecurity, because they were economically insecure and have been forever. The Appalachian folks, the Rust Belt folks, this poverty and this struggle is not new to them. This is not just an Obama thing. This has been in generations of their families ever since they were competing with slave labor. They know what this is. They want to put it, this blame, and frame it in this way because they lack the education that teaches them about how this came to be and how them and their families ended up being.
Okay. So let's talk about that. The never-ending poverty. People, you cannot regulate poverty out of existence. You can't government policy your poverty out of existence. Guaranteed income, I think it's called IBS. Guaranteed income isn't going to change and eliminate poverty. Socialism isn't going to eliminate poverty. A million different government programs is not going to eliminate poverty. It's poverty. Like, if you, like, one of the things that we talk about all the time that should tell you a way of how poverty typically works and whatnot is, bro, I got a view of a house that has had a charger sitting in the garage for about 7 years. Because while they live in the hood, in a regular, somewhat raggedy ass, I'm not sure how it looks inside, but outside it's just regular raggedy as hell. Very typical for this area. But they went and got that fucking car that they couldn't afford. So when it got hit and wrecked, they couldn't repair it. They didn't have the insurance, so now it just sits there. You want to fix that with a policy? You're going to fix that with some sort of like IBS, and you're not going to fix that. Poverty exists, one, because tears have to exist anyway. I don't care what kind of market you have, tears exist. One of those tears is going to be broke people who can't afford shit. I think when it comes to poverty and all this type of stuff, I think people refuse to believe that in a place where somebody can be Elon Musk, somebody can also be homeless. Because to them, it's just Elon Musk take care of homeless people then, right? That's how it works. It's like, no. Like, you have freedom to fail. Just like you have freedom to be Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, you also have freedom to not have shit and just be there in existence, slowly dying, knowing you have just felt miserably, I'm probably going to die under a bridge. You also have that right. So this to get rid of this idea of we just as long as government regulate it, come on, dog. That's not real. That's not real. Because look at how they do it. Part of how the government fights poverty is they take from people like me who literally just works driving a truck for a living. So now a portion of the quality of my life will be snatched from me every paycheck before I even get it and give them to somebody else in favor of fighting poverty. So now I'm even closer to poverty because you want to fight it? That's stupid. And then this, and
they haven't heard the name going and voting for Trump ignorantly, the law, and they don't know anything. All they do that fuels both sides, okay? Because it's about preservation of resources. So when guilty, we have to work on that. And we're not going to be able to communicate with each other until we start talking seriously about racism, sexism, xenophobia, transphobia, queerphobia.
How many conversations do you think it'd take for every person on planet Earth to have a simple dislike for no one? Do y'all know how humans work? White people, there are a lot of white people, I'm sure of it, who are going to want for white people in pure form to exist. I'm pretty sure, because we hear it all the time, that there are black people who are going to want black people to exist in pure form. I don't understand how you can understand that simple thing, but then also think racism can exist. Or you can just get rid of it. That is not even in human nature to not hate something. What's wrong with your double album? Like, you gotta know hatred is just a part of humanism. Like, that's it. That's the one that you should understand that. You should understand that. Hate will always be here. So trying to curate a political system that circumvents it, gets rid of it, I don't, you're going to have this circular problem over and over and over and over and over and over. Let it go. There are people who they just did Matt Walsh just covered a little thing that's trending right now in the news and social media, that there are people who are, sad that they don't have grandkids. You don't think that's going to fuel that hatred for things like gay people? Hell, that's fueling that hate for people that don't want children. Whatever the fuck you call that. So where do you get this idea that you're going to get rid of all these obias? Where? Like, how? Do drag queens and trans people, nobody understands that who doesn't do it. Nobody. Not even you. Y'all just don't fucking get it. Like, your form of getting that is, they just want to do it. Nobody gets why. Nobody. People stand on the other, or the people you call phobias, they do it because they think they got brain damage or something. You do it, you think they do it just because, they're human. That's just, it's like wanting to do a word search puzzle. Nobody knows the real reason why somebody would go, I'm going to fucking paint my face like whatever drag people call it. I'm not even sure if drag people try to look like women. Because that doesn't even look, I don't know. I don't know. I don't get drag. I don't know what the fuck that is. So I really I can't tell you why people, I will actually say that's why people hate it. Because they just don't, just like, what the fuck? Like this one guy that went viral after Trump won. The way he looked at it, it was just very odd. Like, you call Rick Ross weird. So you're not going to get rid of transphobia. Because people don't understand it and it looks weird to them. And then when they start getting comfortable enough to talk shit like they do, or you're definitely not going to get rid of it. So what the fuck do you actually want? You're never going to get rid of the people who feel that no woman in this position, whatever the fuck it is, leader, whatever, CEO, whatever. Seriously, what are you going to do? Tell people they got to cough up shit of theirs anyway? Yeah, that'll cure all the isms and phobias. When you start telling people, yeah, I know this is your business, but your bathrooms need to operate in a way that trans people like. Well, fuck them. No. Tell them to pee outside. How do you get rid of that phobia when you do that? When you tell people your business needs to operate like this, or that business you frequent that has rules in place about its bathrooms that you like, actually, we want to put a federal law into place for this people who we claim is only 1%. And now they're more comfortable. You're less comfortable. Hell, fuck you, because we're going to call you a bigot. You're going to get rid of phobia how? You're going to get rid of hatred how? Alrighty, let's move the fuck on, please. Shit. Education about gender among white voters. White women college graduates, 59%, 39%. So 39% aren't college graduates. I'm assuming that's what that's saying. 37% are non-college graduate. See, this is why people don't know how to read this shit. Because the first line I could have sworn was 39% of white women were not college graduates because of the 59% that were. Now we get to the one where white women are non-college graduates. It's only 37. Where'd that 2% go? This is why people can't read this shit. White men college graduates, 49%. White men non-college graduates, 30. Non-white, 65. So before I even swipe the slide here, let's think about this. So you have white women voted for Trump to the tune of 52%. And 59% of them are college graduates. Are you going to now assume that the more educated the white woman was, the more likely she was to vote for Trump? You kind of can't do that with feminist in your name, so I'm pretty sure there's another explanation. Hold on. I'm not reading all that. Y'all can go ahead, screenshot it. Go ahead. Because I'm not reading all that. I'm already an hour in. Black, 78. So what is that percentage on top of it next to the name? Does it explain it here? You know what? I don't care. I just don't care. I'm moving on from that post.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming. Whose broad stripes.
Okay, I'm not sure what she's trying to say about Trump rallies because she captioned it with it's scary out there. People are cosplaying democracy and hiding behind masks of all sorts. Stay safe, stay alive. It's 80 degrees in Philadelphia. Okay, what you didn't say anything though. This doesn't tell me anything about this. Doesn't tell me what you feel about this. Do you feel that it's not democracy that she's singing and he's painting and Kamala Harris is backing away from her past promise to use presidential power to unilaterally give a path to citizenship to 2 million dreamers, undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. Why it matters? It's part of a pattern in which Harris and her team have changed positions or declined to say whether she's still okay. Didn't give us much there. Okay. All right.
To be checked in the moment, because that is what fascism looks like. That is how we start sliding down a very slippery slope, and we cannot afford to be here. The election is 12 days away, and nonsense, particularly on the other.
But the day I take the oath of office, the migrant invasion of our country ends, and the restoration of our country begins. But the day I take.
What exactly is wrong with what Trump just said? Let's listen to all these slides.
But we need steel. And I would not approve U.S. steel being bought by Japan. I wouldn't do it. Just out of psychologically not good. We'll help them out, but I don't like it. But we need steel. Here, I would like to put forward a bill because I watched 2 months ago as some very bad people, radical left people, by the way, nothing happened to them, in Washington, D.C., burned our American flags. They were burning flags. And I would like to suggest that we put in a bill, if you burn the American flag, 1 year in jail.
Okay, well, that's a dumbass law. Because I can order it off Amazon. Okay, see, this is the things that they use by Trump to call them all kinds of names and shit. Don't say stupid shit like this, Trump. This is stupid. I understand you want people to appreciate America. But just like I said earlier with her post about the isms and the phobias, if you tell people who don't like America right now, well, bitch, we'll lock you up if you burn the flag, whether we know if you bought it or not, with your own money, you're in jail. Like, where do you think that's going to put people's mind about you? Come on, like this can't be this stupid. That was a really dumb thing to say.
Illinois State Senate from a wealthy liberal Chicago neighborhood.
Okay, I'm not reading that one. I think I'm pretty much done with her channel. I think we went as far back as we need to go. But yeah, so let's take a turn. Took a slight turn. Let's look at her story. The white people that think this is cringe do so because they can't fathom that this isn't performance but an actual communication. They find it hard to understand because they've opted to destroy their own cultures in favor of homogeneous supremacy, power to oppress but no identity. Okay, I've seen that before, but I've seen the picture. I've never clicked on the video because I didn't care because of the way people captioned it. So maybe I'll go watch later, but right now I don't understand. I believe niggas intentionally choose to be this goddamn stupid when they wake up every morning. Like a fucking competition to say the stupidest shit ever and see just how many stupid niggas will gather to agree. A gaggle of fuck niggas, lonely ass mating calls. Okay, he's obviously replying to something, but it's very interesting that someone who's it seems like she's pro-black would, share this. Because a bunch of stupid niggas. Right. Again, I don't know how I can side with someone who thinks like this. I'm pretty sure the fact that she's on the other side, I'm just assuming that she thinks this way about something I believe in. But I could be wrong. All right, nothing else to see here. But so yeah. Are women dumb at 27? Or are they free to make their own decision? Be right, not positive. I'm out.